Hello, everyone. I hope you guys can all hear me well. So I will turn off my camera during the presentation so that we will not have any cases of my presentation hanging and everything will go smoothly. So first of all, I want to thank everyone for joining us in this VPayment training. Let me just remind you guys if you can all be on mute so that everyone can hear me well. So I just muted everyone. So welcome to all the attendees from our hotels from Middle East, Egypt, and Southeast Africa. We are joined today by our team from sales, reservations, front office, and finance department, which are the key people for the entire VPayment process. So my name is Len, and I'll be your speaker for today. And also we will be recording this session and we'll share a copy of the presentation after the call. If anyone has questions along the way, feel free to unmute yourselves and I will answer your questions directly. And otherwise, you can leave your questions on chat and I will respond to it at the end of the presentation. So what are the objectives that we have for this webinar? So first of all, the entire thing is about the VPayment process. We must understand how it works, and that comes with each of you having a part and responsibility on the entire process. And if everyone knows what they need to do, then we can ensure that we can have a successful VPayment transaction. So our first topic, of course, is what is the VPayment all about? Next is what are the current challenges that we are facing at the moment? Next is how we can have a successful VPayment transactions. And last but not the least, what the hotels need to do and what are the documents available for everyone. So what is VPayment? Maybe a lot of the hotels are already giving the online link so that the travelers can pay online using their credit card. So it's somewhat similar, but also very different because this entire presentation about VPayment, we will only be discussing about bookings coming from corporate clients that are booked via GDS and that are booked by the TMC on behalf of the corporate client. So it's very different. This is all about just corporate bookings from the global accounts. So VPayment is about the hotel getting paid using a virtual credit card. So there is no physical credit card being used here, and the credit card is not attached to a specific traveler. In fact, the credit card is actually attached to a specific transaction or to a specific booking. So that's the difference. And what are the charges that the hotel can charge on the virtual credit card via VPayment? So the charges are pre-approved by the company based on the company travel policy. I will show you more about it because I will show you the sample of the email that the hotels will receive if they have successfully registered. And also, as I've discussed earlier, this process involves corporate bookings that are coming from GDS or booked by the TMC on behalf of the corporate clients. For us to understand why there are a lot of companies that have adopted the VPayment solution, we have to understand what are the advantages for the travelers and what are the advantages for the corporate client. So for the traveler, they will have a better traveler experience simply because it is simple. It's a very simple process. Once the hotel charges the virtual credit card, the virtual credit card is directly linked to the company bank account. So it means that it is not charged to the traveler, but it is charged directly to the company. So there is no need for the traveler to do any expense. They save time. And at the same time, the process is very secure because the payment information is sent on a secure link or via a secure email. what are the advantages for the corporate client? So as I've said earlier, the charges that the hotel can charge the virtual credit card is based on the instructions that the hotel will receive coming from the company travel policy. So we have to follow that. And because we are following that specific instruction, it will improve the data quality of the corporate travel management. And also, it will be easier for the travel management team and for the corporate client finance team to be able to reconcile their data because each of the transactions made in the virtual credit card is directly linked to a specific booking. So because a lot of the corporate clients right now are using the VPayment solution, so Accor decided to introduce this to the hotels and decided to push for the hotels to adopt this method. And I would like to highlight that Accor partnered with Confirma, but Confirma is not the only client who are doing the virtual payment transactions. So there are other competitors of Confirma like Amex VPay. AirPlus is widely used in US and other companies like Moven, Wex. But why we chose Confirma is it's because it's one of the top in the virtual payment industry. So Confirma has partnered with 700 TMCs and 100 online booking tools, which includes the biggest one like Concur and KDS. So also another advantage is that now this company has been acquired by Sabre and it is growing. So both reasons are why Accor have partnered with Confirma and wants all the hotels to implement this virtual payment solution. I would like to clarify as well that the Confirma solution is chosen by the company. So a company may choose another company like Amex VPay, or another corporate client can choose Confirma as their VPayment solution. But we chose Confirma because more and more clients are using this company. So as I've said earlier, there are a lot of companies that have started using the VPayment solution from Confirma. From the sales team, maybe if you are the ones in charge of responding to an RFP in CVent, you might have encountered a question pertaining to Confirma. So the exact question is, the hotels are being asked if they are registered in Confirma VPay, and it is a mandatory question. Since it is a mandatory question, your RFP acceptance is based on your response being a yes to this question. So for more information about the transactions going through VPay, from since November 2022 year to date, we have had 600,000 transactions that went through Confirma VPay. It was more than doubled compared to last year's 280,000 in 2021. And since the pandemic, we all know how the corporate clients are preferring contactless method, and we have seen 150% growth of contactless usage. From Accor alone in May 2022, we have generated 9 million euros of revenue that went through VPayment transaction. So that is a huge number, and that is how, as Accor, we know that the clients are now moving into this payment method, and more clients will be using this in the near future. As a sample, these are the TMCs list that Confirma have partnered with, and you will see that the big TMCs are here, like Amex, BCD, CWT, and FCM, and the rest of them. So as I've said earlier, there are around 700 TMCs that have partnered with Confirma. So for the sales team, they are very familiar with this screen. This is a screenshot from CVent, and what we did is We took a sample of one corporate client using the VPAYMENT method. So for this specific client, they have solicited 188 hotels. One of the questions raised, or one of the questions that the hotel sales team need to answer is your hotel enrolled in or set up for Confirma virtual payment solution platform? And the expected answer from our hotels participating in this RFP is that it should be a yes. Unfortunately, only 59 of those 188 hotels have said yes to this question. So for those hotels who have answered no, and that's about 68% of hotels that are solicited, you are losing the opportunity to get the RFP acceptance. And another thing is that even if you are lucky to get accepted, if you answered no to this question, you might be at the far end of the preferred list of hotels in the company booking tool. So you are losing to get a good market share of the business travels from this specific client. So what are the challenges that we are encountering right now when we launch the registration for Confirma VPay? First is that when we launched this email inviting the hotels to participate, we did not really receive a lot of responses on time. And out of the 400 plus corporate hotels where we sent this invite to, we still have not received any responses from about 120 hotels. And for those who have answered, those who have already registered, sometimes they also don't know what they are responding